Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Children's Church. Today we'll continue our study of Jesus the Messiah, and we'll be in the unit entitled Prepare the Way. Now remember, there was someone who had a very special job to prepare the way for Jesus. Now, do you remember who this was? I'm going to give you a few hints. This was a baby that was born about the same time that Jesus was born. He was born to a mother and father who were very old. And as a matter of fact, when the father was told that he was going to be born, his father didn't believe it, and he was not able to speak until after the child was born. And this same person also later, when he grew up, baptized Jesus in the Jordan River. Does anybody remember who I'm talking about? John the Baptist, that's right. In today's story, we visit John again. And John is still preaching repentance and preparing people for Jesus. But at this time in the story, Jesus and his disciples are also baptizing people. And there was some dispute between the people about who they should follow. John had to make sure that the people understood he was not the Messiah. His job was to prepare people for the Messiah, which was Jesus. Let's watch today's story and see how they handled it.
Hey everyone, I'm Megan.
And I'm Jessie. Hey Megan, what do you think of my new gloves?
New? They look kind of dirty.
Oh, they are. I just used them to help my mom pull weeds in her garden.
Oh, that makes sense. Did you enjoy helping your mom weed?
Yeah, it was hard work. When we started, the garden had weeds everywhere, but now it looks great. It's ready for flowers, plants, and vegetables.
Awesome. They call that the satisfaction of a job well done.
Who are they?
I don't know. But anyway, you reminded me of today's Bible story.
I'm really good at that.
You really are. Remember how God gave John the Baptist a job to get people ready for Jesus?
Yeah, John told people to stop sinning and turn back to God.
That's right. Well, in today's Bible story, John's job was done. Listen to the story. Jesus and his disciples were in the countryside. People came to see them, and Jesus taught the people about God. Many people were baptized. John the Baptist was nearby. He was baptizing people too. Some of the people who followed John began to argue. John had talked about Jesus, so they went to John. "Teacher," they said, "Jesus' disciples are baptizing people, and people are starting to follow him." John answered, "I told you that I am not the Messiah. I am the messenger who goes before the Messiah to tell people that he is coming." It was good that people were being baptized and following Jesus. That's what they were supposed to do. Jesus is the Messiah God promised. John said, "Think about a wedding. When two people get married, the man who married the bride is called the groom. His friend stands with him at the wedding, and the friend is happy to be there and to hear the groom's voice." John also knew that a wedding is the groom's special day. The groom's friend should not make it about himself. This was how John felt, like a groom's friend. And Jesus was the groom. John was happy that Jesus, the Messiah, had come. John said, "Jesus must become greater, and I must become less." Why was Jesus more important than John? Well, John was from the earth, and he could only tell people about things on earth. Jesus came to earth from heaven, so he could talk about things in heaven because he had seen them. God sent Jesus to earth, and Jesus speaks God's words. Everything Jesus says is true because God always tells the truth. God the Father loves his Son. He has given Jesus power over everything. Whoever believes in Jesus will live forever with God in heaven, but whoever does not believe in Jesus will not live forever. John the Baptist told people to get ready for Jesus. Now Jesus was here, and John's job was finished. Jesus was greater than John, and John was happy to step aside for Jesus to begin his work.
All right, boys and girls, let's see how well you were listening to today's story. Question number 1. Who are the two men teaching and baptizing? That's right, John the Baptist and Jesus. Number 2, what did John say his job was? Good. He was supposed to be the messenger who told people the Messiah was coming. Not the Messiah. He was not the Messiah himself. It was his job to tell people that he was coming. And that Messiah, of course, was Jesus. Number 3, who is the most important person at a wedding? The groom or his friends? That's right, the groom. And this was a little story that compared Jesus to the groom and John the Baptist to a friend at the wedding. Number 4, who sent Jesus to earth? Of course, he was sent by God. And number 5, where do people who believe in Jesus live forever? Yes, what a wonderful thing. They live with God in heaven forever. Now, this brings us to our big picture question. We've had this question for several weeks. Let's see if you remember. Number 6, why did Jesus become human? Good, boys and girls. Jesus became human to rescue sinners. That's the whole purpose of Jesus coming to the earth, is to die on the cross, rise from the dead, and rescue people from their sin so that we could live with God in heaven forever. Now, if you would like to read the story with your family, boys and girls, you can find it in 2 different books of the Bible. You can find it in Matthew chapter 3, or you can find it in the book of John. It is in 2 separate chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 3. I hope you are taking time with your family to read these stories, boys and girls. It's awesome family time for you to spend together. And I hope you remember that in this life, we all have jobs to do too. There are certain things that God expects of us. And just like John the Baptist did his job, we need to do what God asks of us. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.